I was glad we didn't.
Well, okay. Anyway.
Number 3.
All right, my number 3. I'm gonna say that it's Doctor Strange, and I'm gonna clarify this. I'm just not a Doctor Strange fan. That's the biggest reason why it's where it is on my list is that I'm not a Doctor Strange fan.
That's understandable.
And the psychedelic universe turning upside down, sideways, that's MC Escher kind of thing. I like MC Escher's work, but it's just blah for me.
See, Sarah didn't like that either. Like the buildings turning.
Oh, I love that. That was like Doctor Strange is in my top list.
Okay. All right.
So y'all two have different types of film preferences. Well, clearly.
Yeah, and that's cool. That's cool. But yeah, again, the main reason is that I'm not a big fan, so it didn't really matter that much to me. Gotcha. So it might have been completely epic for a Doctor Strange fan, but he just doesn't even rank that high for me. So I guess kind of like Captain America.
Yes,
rank for you.
So for me, Thor, the first Thor, kind of some of the reasons you said. To me, it was okay. It just, in that, I don't know, nothing about that movie really to me is like, oh, that's what I really love about the movie. Or I really like that about the movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, you had some comedic aspects, but, you didn't really get a full, Loki villain, like Loki, like Avengers Loki. Yeah. And I think, because of that,
but again, it's an origin, so you got to build up to it.
It is. But, I don't know, man. It just... it's not that I have a lot of critiques on it. It's just there's nothing really in it that's like, I really want to watch this movie right now.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Last time I watched it, I only watched it because my wife was like, have I seen the first Thor? And watching it, I was like, it's a pretty good movie.
See, the last time I watched it, I was like, I hadn't seen this in a while. Let me just bone up on it again.
Right. So, and I just in general, the Hulk franchises to me, I'm not the Hulk, the Thor. It's a Thor story, but I still wish we would have got some type of introduction to the Odin Force.
Yeah,
because now Thor technically would have that power,
right?
But we don't know what that power is, or if they're ever going to tap into it. So,
yeah.
Which actually makes it more powerful than Captain Marvel, by the way. But go ahead, what's number 2?
2.
Yeah, number 2 for me is Thor: Dark World. It just...
Did you just not like Hela?
No, the Dark World is with Malekith.
Yeah.
Not Ragnarok. Ragnarok was Hela.
Okay.
Actually, I really liked Ragnarok.
Yeah, that was
Ragnarok is way up there for me.
Yeah,
you're right.
Dark World, it didn't flow with Thor at that time for me. Okay. It didn't fit. It was more of a... I don't know if it was the acting, if they were just having a bad month. It looked like it could have been so much better.
Okay.
To me, Malekith wasn't a great villain to me. He is in the comics. He's a really great in the comics, but in the actual film, I didn't feel some kind of, this is going to be a tough person to kind of conquer.
It just...
I know you said he's one of your favorite.
Yeah, he is. And I thought that the casting was really good for him, too. But I don't know. I mean, it's not as awesome as Ragnarok. I definitely give you that. But I don't
technically he didn't beat Hela. They really dumbed Thor down. He didn't beat Hela. He didn't.
He's still finding himself, bro.
I mean, he did kill Thanos after he got weakened by the Infinity Stones, but
right. But see, like at this point in time, now we get Thor as Thor should be.
As long as they cut his hair and
they just took too long to get there.
Anyway, right, I think one of the things I loved about Dark World though was the Loki Thor relationship in that movie. To me, I enjoyed.
That was a redeeming quality in there because you did kind of see more of the dynamic with the brothers.
Mm-hmm.
But the movie itself it didn't flow well for me. I really wanted to like that because I do like Thor, but the movie itself it was kind of one of those where you can see what they were trying to do, but they just fell short.
They didn't fully execute. Yeah. Okay, I got you.
So number 2.
Number 2, Hulk. Yeah. And so I mean, we've been on that one. So
My number 2 is Ant-Man.
uh,
I feel like the film, the villain sucked again. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta have a good villain, man. I don't care how great the hero is. If the villain sucks, it's nothing.
You know what's sad? I don't even remember who the villain was.
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah, let's see.
It wasn't that great. It was a bald-headed Darren Cross, but he was like the Yellow Jacket. I mean, and I'm also not a fan of villains who are just an evil version with the same power. Like he had a shrinking suit that he could fly in. I mean,
Well, right,
That's
and then we don't really get that till like the end of the film.
Yeah.
And
I wasn't a huge
very
fan.
minimal.
Honestly, I love the first Iron Man film,
All right.
but the least favorite part of the film for me was the villain, because all it is a bigger Iron Man.
Yeah.
That's it. Abomination, just a bigger Hulk. I'm not a fan of that. I like when you have to go against somebody with different skills and abilities and talents or whatever. Ant-Man to me, like you could have skipped the first Ant-Man. You couldn't skip Ant-Man and Wasp because you had to have the quantum realm and that stuff.
Yeah.
But the first Ant-Man, you could have completely just get rid of, take it out. It wouldn't matter.
Well, and again, you're not really Ant-Man and Wasp. You're really Wasp and
True. Well, I mean, yeah, you got to push the man back some.
yeah.
So.
Well, but either way, though, she was still a much better hero than he is.
Of course.
I think that's also a casting issue for me.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah. See,
That was odd bringing him into the MCU.
he does comedy well, but I guess that's just it. Is that it was almost too much comedy.
Right.
That it was like.
But he's a dimwit. Like he's supposed to. That's the other thing that bothers me. He's a genius, but he's a dimwit in the movies.
Right.
Like,
He's an idiot.
That's aggravating.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have a Hank Pym.
I'll go ahead and tell you guys just because we're already talking about it. So Ant-Man's my number 1.
Yeah.
And for these reasons, it's just total lackluster. They could have done more with him. I'm not an Ant-Man fan anyway, as well. So you couple that with the lack of delivery, just puts it even further down. Ant-Man and Wasp, much better in film, much higher up on my list. Villain execution wasn't quite as good, wasn't quite there either, but still far better. So
Gotcha. So you're number 1.
My number 1 was Iron Man 3. And here's the thing about it, though. I loved Iron Man 3 up until the end.
okay.
Because I saw that they were going to do the Mandarin, I was excited.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, we're going to Disneyland, let's go. There's Disneyland, bye. And I expected a huge build-up. I almost thought that would be something along the lines of like they would do with Thanos. Like they did with Thanos, where they built him up and they built him up. Because the Mandarin is a major villain for Iron Man. And the name escapes me right now with the rings that he's supposed to have.
Yeah.
I can't. That
It's a group of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was expecting to start to see all of that, and then was just let down.
There was actually some additional footage. I can't remember where it's at, but there was additional footage talking about that. And with they kind of shot that. It was like a 5-minute scene or something. Have no idea where it came from. All I know is one of the reviewers that I watch on YouTube talked about it. Talking about that order of whatever, and it's saying that order actually does exist. It was just not executed in the film at all.
And that's sad. I mean, that's why I loved that movie up until the end. When I was just like, what? That's not the Mandarin?
Yeah, it was more of an extremist thing than
what?
Mandarin. Yeah.
Well, and so then you've got was it Ben Kingsley?
Yes.
I mean, who to me is a fantastic actor. So I'm totally with you on this. You're like, okay, so you've got this guy who's got the acting chops to really pull something crazy cool out of this, and he's just a drunk idiot.
Yeah.
Deadbeat actor kind of thing.
I think Robert Downey Jr. had a problem with that too.
Well, I would hope that he would, because that was his point. Now that aside, I liked the movie a lot. But.
The other thing too for me, it was like it took this long to get the shard out of his heart. Like at the end of the film, he's like, "Oh yeah, while we're at it, just go ahead and pop mine out too." Like to me, that was all the technology he's able to build all these suits, do all these wonderful, glorious things, and that one thing he can't really fix until now.
I don't think he really thought about it until then. It was kind of like, well, I'm fine now. Why bother? I have other things to do.
Yeah, until there are issues that crop up.
Yeah, it's still weird. The other thing, too, was when he blew up all the suits. To me, that was a failure. Like, I'm going to blow up all of these suits. Just get rid of all of them. But no, was that in Iron Man 2 or 3? Whichever one it was.
3.
3. Whatever. To me, that was like, why would you do something like that?
No, it's 2. He brings back in 3. But see, the thing is that, I mean, you're talking about the humanity of him. Do we not go through those same things in our life where we're like, yeah, you know what, this is just wrong. Let me just go ahead and ditch all of this. And then, later on you're like, okay, well, maybe there's something redeeming in this. I do that with Facebook. I get rid of Facebook, I delete it. And then every once in a while I pick it back up and I go, oh, okay, well, maybe there's something worthwhile in this. So
it's Iron Man 3. It was Iron Man 3. Yeah, he blew up all the suits in Iron Man 3. Because in, like, Civil War, it's like, oh, but he's got some more now?
Oh, well, okay, but after he, like, saved the day.
Yeah, so.
With them all.
Anyway, my number one
is...
is...
fireworks display.
My number one was Hulk. Edward Norton had issues with the script. He didn't like the script at all. He tried to rewrite it. All the scenes that he wrote in, they apparently cut. All the scenes that he really was into. And that's the reason why he didn't reprise his role. Him and the writers had issues.
Don't blame him.
And Abomination, like I said, having a villain that's just a little bit bigger and, is not really clever to me. Although apparently they did talk to the guy who did Abomination about possibly coming back. I saw it somewhere on the video. They halfway thought about bringing it back for Age of Ultron, being like an extra villain on that, but they never did.
Thank God.
So yeah, I don't know, but it just wasn't a great film. When you look at the CG from that film to the Avengers, big difference. And I understand.
Yeah.
I understand with time. Same thing with Thanos. Thanos looked terrible. Did you know the actual original casting for Thanos was not Josh Brolin? Somebody else.
I heard that.
Yeah. So anyway, Hulk's mine, and then yours was Ant-Man.
Yeah.
So the top 3 films we have is Ant-Man, Hulk, and Iron Man being the worst film. Iron Man 3 being the worst in the MCU. I think that's pretty strong. I mean, I've heard a lot of people that hate Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Well, let me clarify again. I loved Iron Man 3 up until the end.
Okay.
Right.
Because I was expecting the Mandarin. Iron Man is one of the few Marvel characters that I really liked. So I really wanted to see him going against the Mandarin.
Right.
And
so you wanted to go to Disney World, but they took you to the county fair on the day it was closed and raining.
Not only that, but they drove me past Disney World.
First.
Yes.
See what you could be doing. But you're not
Gotcha. Alright, so that is our round 5 worst MCU films. Let us know what your 5 worst films are, wherever we share this, whatever. So yeah, we will be right back, and we're actually going to talk about something that's really kind of important. So please stay tuned.